Hi, I'm Irving, and I have no life, just like you.
The Ballad of Irving. Irving. Big fat Irving. Big sport Irving. The 142nd fastest gun in the West.
Instead of a bunch of introduction, let's just dive right in. I studied this game on the store shelf for a long time before I finally bought it. I had no idea what it was about, but I learned that the whole Battlefield thing was a fairly long-running series, so it was time to check it out. Over the next several days, I monopolized the TV and the 360 as I made my way through this great, exciting, and laugh-inducing game. You're part of 222nd Battalion B Company. You're Preston Marlowe, a soldier who got himself into some trouble and wound up stuck with a company of misfits rather than going to prison. You meet your squad, consisting of Sergeant Redford, he's supposed to go home in 3 days, Haggard, who's the explosive expert, and Sweetwater. I'm not sure what he's all about, except that he really has the hots for the dispatch girl.
Bravo 1 Charlie, this is Mike 1 Juliet, over.
Listen, it's the new dispatch girl, Miss July.
Mike 1 Juliet, this is Bravo 1 Charlie, over.
You ought to move up ahead of the convoy to scout the terrain. I'll get back to you with further orders. Out.
Oh, she's got a real nice voice.
Sweetwater.
Check it out. It's cavalry. Yeah, isn't it amazing how we always go towards the fighting and they're always flying in the opposite... I hope those are our guns. It's a beautiful sound either way.
Listen now, boys!
Typical!
Drink your wine and sweets! It's about time we got some action! Look at the new guy, he's...
Well, that's an auspicious start. Time for the tutorial. You can carry one weapon at a time, a situation I'm not crazy about. Each weapon has a grenade ability with it, sometimes launched from the gun and sometimes thrown by hand. Plan on swapping weapons often. You can also carry one gadget. This might be an RPG, a laser designator, some C4 explosive, or some other such item. I especially like the power tool.
Good job, Marlowe.
You also carry some kind of syringe for healing yourself. You drive that truck you just fixed toward the next objective. The driving controls are a little weird. I've never seen a game that used the left trigger to go forward and the left bumper to go backward before, but it doesn't take that much getting used to. And one nice thing about this approach is you can do it all with one hand. You can use the right stick to look around if you want, but it isn't necessary, and I found it just threw me off. There's a fair bit of driving in this game, getting from point A to point B, having firefights with other vehicles and such, so if you get a good handle on it early, you'll enjoy the game that much more. Your first task is to take out some artillery crews that are shelling your guys. You don't have to blow the actual guns, just take out the guys operating them.
That's all. Push on.
After each mission, you regroup. It's usually at a smoke marker, though not this time. You get your next task almost immediately.
Charlie, are the artillery guns still intact? Juno convoy hit some trouble down by the bridge, over.
Mike 1 Juliet, you want us to use the enemy gun, over?
Affirmative. Bracket the hostiles by the bridge, boys, but be advised, we've got friendlies in the area. Out.
I ain't gonna do it. If I hit our guys, y'all gonna yell at me. Hey, crazy idea part 2. Let the new guy do it.
Well, of course the new guy gets to do it. How much fun would the game be if you just stood there and watched somebody else do it? Gee willikers, this is fun. One thing you might not realize is you only have a certain amount of time to get into the big gun and start firing.
What would you be doing?
Shit! We lost Juno convoy! We lost Juno convoy! The op is hosed! The op is FUBAR!
Interesting. And of course, The selection screen plays some appropriate, battle-heavy, intense music to get your blood boiling. Right. Moving on. Using the artillery is pretty easy, especially with this screen's dual aiming system. So once that's done, the column you were just protecting needs a way across the river. Unfortunately, the only decent crossing is currently occupied by a bunch of Russians. Oh yeah, I think I forgot to mention that. We're fighting the Russians in this war. As far as I can tell, and I've been through the game 3 times now, we never really find out why, though I did hear some rumblings about oil somewhere along the way. I'm not totally sure where we are either, but in the long run, it doesn't matter much. One interesting feature of this game that I haven't seen much before is the missions tend to be short and single focus. Take out the Russians at the river crossing. Go up to a farmhouse and clear it out. Some take a little longer than others depending on what you're up against, like this machine gun. It took me a while to figure it out, but after a respawn like this, the enemies that you've killed are still gone. The game saves your progress in accomplishing the mission, even though it puts you way back at a checkpoint. I like that. But I just couldn't seem to get rid of the machine gun, so I tried a different angle. Okay, that didn't work. I finally got a good position. Some missions are really short, like this one. Short and sweet. Haggard sums it up pretty well.
Feels good, doesn't it? I remember blowing up my first tank.
So now you're ready to meet your evac helicopter.
Got a visual on the LZ. Stand clear. Out. Here's a 6-5. I'm hit. Hell. 6-5. Going down. 6-5 going down. Shit! Ah, damn it. We're on our own again.
Shit, I knew it.
Well, that's not good.
Another thing I haven't talked about yet is collectibles. Each level has a certain number of them. These are actually weapons stashed in obscure places around the map, and when you pick one up, you get credit for finding a collectible. Since you're constantly switching weapons all through the game, depending on how much ammo you have, what kinds of grenades you need, and all that, I'm not really sure about the collect part of that, but it's fun to try and find them all. Kind of like the meaningless flags in the first Assassin's Creed game, except that these collectibles actually fire bullets that you can use to deal with bad guys, where in Assassin's Creed you can't stab somebody with the flag stick. If you've been watching the screens, you also see a certain number of gold in each map. This one has none, so that should be easy to find. If it isn't, maybe you should try a different hobby. Just about everything we've done so far is basic gameplay. So what sets this game apart from other such games? Well, for one thing, the banter among these guys.
I wonder what Miss July would like to do for a weekend getaway.
You wouldn't have the guts to ask her.
This is a war, Sweetwater. You don't get the weekend off.
Yeah, well, someday this war's gonna end.
Wash your mouth out with soap.
You clear out more little villages and similar places for the convoy, but it doesn't help because they start getting shelled again. You take out some radar jammers so your air support can destroy the artillery, then it's a mop-up operation. Once that's done, Sweetwater makes a major discovery.
This is Bravo 1 Charlie Actual, reporting success on Objective Taurus. Over.
You've done great, Sergeant. And you're all still there? Over.
Actually, I think we've lost Sweetwater.
Come again? Over.
Dismiss that. Out. Sweetwater!
Sorry, Sergeant.
I'm over here, Sarge. You'd all better get in here.
Boy, this better be good.
Come here, take a look at this.
He's not Russian?
Nope, we got ourselves a mercenary. One of the Legionnaires, no less.
Whoa, the Legionnaire. I thought that was just a spook story.
Nah, he's real. Got his own damn army. Some say the deadliest in the world. Now look at this. Acta non verba. That's the Legionnaire's motto. It's Latin and it means action, not words.
Hang on, I was at the Taco Emporium. I think you'll find that Spanish.
Oh, just shut up. Your motto should be verba non acta, because you never shut the hell up. Let's get out of here.
You should listen, Sarge. Knowledge is power. For example, rumor says he always pays in gold bars.
I'll just check for a pulse in his pockets. Well, slap me hard and call me El Dorado.
Okay, El Dorado, let's have a look.
Whoa, whoa, finders keepers, that's the rule.
So, that's how it started. We found this little piece of gold. To people with less moral fiber, that might have posed a problem. But we're all men of duty.
On the chopper, Preston reflects that you all decided to hold on to the gold for safekeeping, splitting it 4 ways. Haggard isn't happy about that, but he can't do much about it. Now you're off to a town that's 20 kilometers behind enemy lines. You're the first to go in, even ahead of the special forces, because, as Redford explains, they're too expensive to lose. On the ground, you find a building with the same symbol that was on that mercenary.
Hey, Sweets, ain't this the same fancy thing that was on that dead guy?
Acta non verba. Yep, sure is.
Let's check it out.
Could be a trap.
Hey, new guy, you check it out.
Thanks a lot, Haggard. So this map has 2 collectibles and 4 gold bars. This is getting good. So how do you know when you found the gold?
You found another piece? We've got to be closing in on that mother lode.